have made it, y'all. That one might have made it. I think I'm on. I think I'm on with the last yellow one. Let's track this. All right, let's walk this. First ball, I just passed the first one. That one is at 187. Yeah, the first red one would have definitely been on. 194. It's total distance. 199 for this first red one. It would have been on. Let me show you. This red one here actually went further than the yellow one. Right? Here's the red. There's the yellow. Red went 199. There's the pin. Longest one's the Didnt. On flat land. I did 220 downhill. So let me sidecar these up and how did that miss? It hit the pin. I don't know how that first one didn't drop. It bounced pretty hard off the pin, but I feel like if the pin wasn't in there, it would have dropped. Because it was rolling. It wasn't like it had all this speed and just bink. It was rolling nice and smooth and just bounced off the pin and continued to roll what looked like uphill, but it's not that steep of a slope, so I guess it still has some roll. But it's weird because I gave that quite a bit of loft in order to stop it from rolling. And I mean, it rolled. I don't know if the pin made it roll. Look at this V formation. Hold on. It's so cool when they fly like that. I just don't know how that didn't drop and how it rolled so far after it hit the pin. It's just weird. Sometimes it seems like these balls defy the laws of gravity. All right. All right, so I'm back home now, and after looking at it, after actually reviewing the video, it did hit the pin pretty quickly. It was rolling. So, and the thing is, these greens can sometimes play tricks on your eyes, because from the perspective I was looking at the green, it looked like it was uphill from where I did the sidecar. It really looked like it was uphill, but it couldn't have been uphill from all that roll. It couldn't have been uphill. It just couldn't have been uphill. And it further proved that it wasn't uphill, that it was downhill when I was putting back towards the hole after the miss. And the way the ball rolled and stopped, it stopped like it was an uphill putt, not a downhill putt. Downhill putts don't stop on a down. They don't stop like that. They slow down slowly, and then they come to a gradual stop. Those putts that I hit after the sidecar misses stopped like an uphill putt. And so what that's telling me is that sometimes you just can't trust your eyes, because the way they do these slopes around the greens, they'll do slopes around the greens that'll completely throw you off and make it look like it's sloping one way when it's actually sloping a completely different direction. And so one of the things I'm gonna do I'm gonna do two things. One is, they always said to walk all around the ball. Don't just look at the ball from the perspective of behind the ball in the pin. They say to walk to the left and look, walk to the right and look, and walk on the opposite side, behind the pin and look, and get it from all perspectives. Because if I would have looked at it from maybe the side view, right, I might could have seen that it was, that the right side was lower than the left side, making it a making it a downhill sidecar. So now I'm wondering, I'm like, well, if I'm within like 20 yards of the green, should, can I go to the green and look to see which way the slope is going so I know where I want to place the ball? Right? It's like, can you do that? Is that within the rules of the game? Of course you don't want to, if you're 50 yards away, you can't, walk 50 yards and back. That's just, it's a waste of time, and that's kind of annoying. But I mean, 20 yards out, 15 yards out, you can walk to the green, look at it, look at the slope, and walk back, and not really waste a lot of time. So I'm just wondering, because that really played a trick on my eyes there, and the ball doesn't lie. That's the way it was sloping. It was actually a downhill. So it's like, I want how do they do that? Like, how do they make it look like it's uphill when it's actually downhill? I don't know how they do that. But I think they do these course designers. They do this stuff on purpose. They do it on purpose to throw you off. I'm like, golf is hard enough to get the ball in the hole. Y'all gotta be tricking us, making us think that the slope is going one way and it's actually going another. That's just mean, okay? That's just mean and nasty, and I don't like it. Stop it. All right, that's all I want to say about that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, next round I play, I'm gonna actually cheat. I'm gonna actually cheat. I'm going to take my leveler on my phone, and I am going to measure the slope between my ball and the pin, and kind of treat it as if I'm like a PGA Tour pro, right? You have the slope book. Well, I think they've banned. I think they're in the process of banning the greens books with the slopes and stuff. Or they're limiting the information that's actually in that book. But still, I am going to, just to test out, just to see how my putting is, use my phone leveler to gauge the slope before I putt, and I'm gonna do it where I'm gonna give my thoughts on how I think it's breaking, and then I'm going to use my leveler to see if I was right, and then I'm gonna putt. Just to prove a point that sometimes you have the break all wrong, and your putt goes completely off, or you're putting towards a direction that has no chance of going in that hole because of the break, because you read the break wrong. So yeah, that's all I had to say.